Hey, everybody, and welcome to this deep dive. We are going to be talking about something that I think is really important, and that is relationships.
Yeah,
But not just any relationships. We're talking about relationships that really help you grow and become a better person.
absolutely. And sometimes those
Yeah.
relationships involve making some tough choices about who you keep close in your life.
Exactly. And today we're going to be talking about a video from Dr. Jordan Peterson, where he discusses how to identify the people in your life who may be holding you back and the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with
hmm
in order to grow and flourish.
Yes, exactly. And he actually calls those people who are holding you back toxic, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a strong word.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're going to get into exactly what he means by that and
Yeah.
why it's so important to really think about who you're surrounding yourself with.
So to kick things off in this video, Dr. Peterson really emphasizes that you need people in your life who are rooting for you. Not just to be happy, but who are rooting for you to become the best version of yourself.
That's so important, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about being nice or agreeable.
Yeah.
It's about truly seeing the potential in someone and wanting to help them grow.
Exactly. And it's not always easy because sometimes
Yeah,
growth involves tough love
hmm
and setting boundaries.
absolutely.
So it's really making me think about, like, what does my best self even look like?
Right.
And who are the people in my life who really see that and are encouraging me in that direction?
And you know what's interesting is he actually goes on to say that those consistently negative or unsupportive people can actually hold you back
Oof,
from
yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
It's almost like they become a roadblock in your path.
It can be so hard, too, because sometimes those people are even family members. And so
That's true.
it can be a really, really tough decision to kind of step back from those relationships.
Yeah, it can be a really difficult decision, but he makes the point that relationships should energize you.
Yeah.
They should make you feel stronger, not weaker.
Right. And so if you find yourself consistently feeling drained or depleted, or
Yes.
like someone is constantly chipping away at your self-esteem, that's a sign that something might not be right.
Absolutely. And a big part of personal growth is stepping outside of your comfort zone
Yeah,
and taking risks. And it's just so much harder to do that
it really
when you
is.
have people in your life who are constantly
Yeah.
discouraging you or telling you that you can't.
Yeah. And that actually leads into something really interesting
Okay.
that he talks about, which is how to identify a true friend.
Okay, so how do you know
Yeah.
if you have a true friend?
So he gives two key characteristics that I think are so insightful, and I'm curious to hear what you
What?
think about them.
Okay, lay it on me.
All right, so the first one is that a true friend will listen to your bad news
Okay.
without judgment and without trying to one-up you with their own
Oh,
problems.
that's so important.
Right.
Because sometimes you just need somebody to listen.
And not try to fix it or tell you about how they had it worse.
Yeah. They just hold space for you and
Yeah.
let you process your emotions.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two.
The second one is that they genuinely celebrate your good news
Ooh.
without deflecting,
Yes.
without diminishing your accomplishment, and without immediately turning the conversation back to themselves.
So important because it's like, you work so hard to achieve something
Yeah.
and you tell somebody and they're like, oh, yeah, well, I did this.
He's
And
at,
it's like, oh, okay, well,
it takes away from that joy.
exactly.
Yeah, and it shows that they're not really able to share in your happiness.
Yes, and a true friend is happy for you when you're happy.
Yes, they celebrate your wins as if they were their own.
And you know what I love about those two things is that you can kind of see how somebody really is
Absolutely.
by how they react to both the good and the bad.
Yeah, it reveals a lot about their character and their capacity for empathy.
And so what does he call the people who don't do those things?
Well, he has a pretty strong term for them.
Okay.
He calls them weasels and losers.
Oh, well,
It is harsh, but I also think it's kind of funny
it's kind of funny.
in a way.
Yeah.
But it's important to understand what he means by that.
Okay, what does he mean?
So he's talking about people who drag others down
Yeah.
to justify their own negativity.
Okay, so it's like misery loves company kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it can be so easy to get sucked into that vortex of
Yeah.
negativity and complaining and lack of responsibility for your own life.
And I think we've all met people like that, right?
Yeah, I think we all have.
The people who are constantly complaining, but they're not actually
Right.
doing anything to change their situation.
Yeah. Or they might even sabotage other people's success
Oh, yeah.
because it makes them feel better about their own stagnation.
Oof, that is just like
Yeah, it's a tough one.
so toxic.
It is.
You know what's interesting is he actually gets a question in this video from a viewer named Dan
Oh, okay.
who says, I have lots of friends, but I feel really lonely on the outside. I'm Mr. Popular, but every connection feels shallow. What do you make of that?
Well, I think Dan's situation highlights an important distinction between quantity and quality in
Yeah.
relationships.
So you can have a lot of friends,
You
but they
can.
might not be real friends.
Exactly. Not all friendships are created equal.
And so what's the solution there? What does he suggest that Dan do?
So Peterson suggests that if you find yourself relating to Dan's situation,
Yeah.
you might want to consider seeking out activities that really light you up, things that you're passionate about,
Okay.
and then look for other people who share those passions.
Right.
Because he emphasizes that deep connections often stem from shared activities.
When you're working towards a common goal or something.
Exactly, when you're engaged in something that's meaningful to both of you.
It creates a bond.
Yeah, it creates a natural bond and a foundation for shared experiences and mutual support.
You know what's funny is like I think about all my closest friends and like they're all people who I've met through doing some activity that we both enjoy.
It's like that shared passion creates this automatic connection
Totally.
and a sense of camaraderie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about friends, but what about family?
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Peterson actually talks about this too.
It does.
And he says that the deepest relationships often reside within family units.
It's true, but
Right.
they can also be the most complex and challenging.
Right. Because
Yeah.
with family, it's not always a choice.
Not always.
Yeah.
It's not like you can just unfriend your mom on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right?
It's that way, family.
Family is family, and those relationships are so multifaceted, right?
Yeah.
They're filled with love and loyalty and shared history,
Right.
but also sometimes unresolved conflicts and
Marriage.
baggage from the past is like this intricate tapestry
Yeah.
woven from both positive and negative threads.
I like that analogy. So it's like, you have to kind of take the good with the bad.
Yeah, you got to embrace the whole package
Yeah.
with family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, though, Colin, like this whole idea of,
Yeah.
surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
It's not just like your personal life.
No, it's not. It totally extends to
It's like your work.
your work environment,
Yeah.
your creative pursuits, your hobbies.
Yeah.
It really permeates every aspect of your life.
So like, for example, if you're working in a place where everybody's like gossiping and like
Oh, yeah.
backstabbing and just like negative, it's like, how can you even focus on your goals?
It's so draining.
It's so draining.
It's like trying to grow a plant in toxic soil.
Yeah.
You need that fertile ground to really thrive.
But imagine if you were working in a place where everybody was like supportive
Oh, yeah.
and like encouraging each other and like celebrating each other's wins.
That would be amazing. It would
Really.
be so empowering.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
It's like that whole saying,
Right.
iron sharpens iron,
Yes.
You
want to be around people who lift you up,
Yes.
not drag you down.
Exactly. And so it's like, if you're trying to get in shape, but all your friends just want to like go out and eat pizza and drink beer all the time.
Should it be tough?
It's going to be really hard.
Yeah, to stay on track with your fitness goals.
And you're just surrounded by these temptations.
Right.
And you're
Yeah,
like,
so-
oh, I guess I'll have another slice.
It's like peer pressure, but for bad habits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if your friends are like also into fitness and like want to go to the gym with you
Yeah.
or like are training for a marathon,
Yeah.
that's like a built-in support system.
It is. It's amazing
And
how
you-
much it can help you stay motivated.
And it's not even just like the people in our like
Yeah.
immediate circle,
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like, think about like role models,
Oh, yeah.
like people who you admire from afar, like
Like athletes or artists.
Yeah.
Or entrepreneurs.
people who are like embodying the qualities that you want to have.
Yeah. And even though you might not know them personally,
Yeah.
their stories can still inspire you.
Yeah.
Their work ethic can motivate you.
It's like a virtual mentor.
It is.
Yeah.
And just seeing what they've accomplished
Yeah.
can show you what's possible.
Totally.
It's like they're setting a high bar
Yeah.
and reminding you that you're capable of great things too.
And sometimes it's even just like surrounding yourself with like images or quotes
Oh,
of
yeah.
these people
It's-
that can be really inspiring.
It's about curating your mental environment as well as your physical one.
But it's not always easy to like just cut ties with people,
No, it's definitely not.
especially if they're like family members
Yeah, especially with
Or- and-
family.
or people you've known for a long time.
Yeah, sometimes you feel this sense of loyalty
Yeah.
or obligation.
And you don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, exactly. And, let's be honest, sometimes there's even a fear of being alone
They're
if
like-
we cut those ties.
Like, what if I don't have any friends?
Right, what if I end up all by myself?
Yeah.
But, it's important to remember that choosing to create some distance
Yeah.
from relationships that are harming you
Yes.
doesn't mean that you're going to end up alone.
It just means you're making space
Exactly. It's about making space.
for better relationships,
For healthier, more supportive connections.
like pruning a garden.
Oh, I like that.
You got to cut away the dead branches
Yeah.
so that the healthy ones can flourish.
Beautiful analogy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, if you're listening to this and you're like, all right, I need to make some changes.
Yeah.
Like, where do you even start?
Where do you begin?
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is awareness.
Okay.
Start by paying attention to how you feel
Okay.
after spending time with certain people.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I feel energized
Yeah. Do you
Right.
feel energized?
or do I feel drained?
Do you feel drained?
Do I feel happy?
Do you feel inspired or do you feel depleted?
It's like taking your emotional temperature
It is.
after every interaction.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then once you start to become more aware of like, okay,
Yeah.
this person is actually like a negative influence on me.
Right.
Then you can start making more conscious choices
Yeah.
about, who you spend your time with.
Exactly. It's about becoming the curator
Uh-huh.
of your own social landscape.
Okay, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not just about like, who you spend time with. It's also about
Yeah.
setting boundaries.
Boundaries are so important.
And he talks about that in the video too.
He does. He emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries even with people we care about.
Yeah, because I think sometimes
Yeah.
we feel like we can't set boundaries with people we're close to.
Right. We're afraid of hurting their feelings or
Right.
damaging the relationship.
And then you just end up feeling resentful.
Exactly. But, setting boundaries is not selfish.
Right.
It's about honoring your own needs
Yeah.
and limits.
So, like, how do you actually set a boundary?
Well, it might look different in different situations.
Yeah.
It might mean saying no to certain requests.
Okay.
Might mean limiting the amount of time you spend with someone.
Okay.
It might even mean having those tough conversations
Yeah.
about what's working and what's not.
Yeah.
And in some cases, it might even mean ending the relationship altogether.
Yeah, if it's really toxic,
If it's become too damaging,
you just got to cut it off.
sometimes you do.
Like, sometimes it's just not worth it.
It's not
So
you.
you keep trying to salvage it.
And it's important to remember that you deserve to be in relationships that
Yeah.
are mutually respectful and supportive.
So it's like this whole process of like
Yeah,
creating good relationships requires like a lot of self-reflection
it does.
and honesty with yourself
Yeah,
and with others.
absolutely. It's about being honest about what you need,
Yeah.
what you deserve,
Yeah.
and having the courage to make choices
Yeah.
that align with your values and your goals,
Even if those choices are hard.
even if they're tough.
We talk a lot about like
Yeah.
the people that we surround ourselves with.
Yeah.
But what about like our own role in these relationships?
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding the right people.
Right.
It's about becoming the kind of person
Yes.
who attracts and cultivates
Yes.
those healthy connections.
It's about being the kind of friend that you want to have.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about showing up as your best self and embodying those qualities that we admire in others.
So think about that true framework we were talking about earlier. Like,
yeah.
are you really truly listening to your friends when they're telling you about their problems?
Yeah.
Are you celebrating their successes?
Are you encouraging them to pursue their passions?
Are you being that friend that you want to have?
Exactly. It's about walking the walk,
Yeah.
not just talking the talk.
And, it's easy to get caught up in, like, what other people aren't doing for us.
Yeah.
But we have to remember that, like,
Yeah.
relationships are a two-way street,
Absolutely.
and it's about finding that
Yeah.
balance
Yeah.
of give and take.
Yeah. It's not about keeping score,
No.
but it is about showing up for each other
Yes.
in a way that feels authentic and meaningful.
I feel like this deep dive has really, like,
Mm.
made me look at my own relationships in a different way.
Yeah, me too.
It's not always fun to, like,
No.
confront the areas where you're maybe not doing so great,
It can be uncomfortable.
but it's so worth it.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like holding up a mirror to yourself and
Yeah.
asking, am I being the best friend,
Yeah.
partner, family member that I can be?
And it all goes back to what we were talking about with
Nah.
Dr. Peterson, surrounding yourself with people who want the best for you.
Absolutely, people who want the best for the best part of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's so powerful and
Yeah.
like inspiring to me.
It's inspiring. And I
Yeah.
think one of the biggest takeaways is that we have a choice.
Yeah.
We're not just passive bystanders
I
in
know.
our own lives.
We have the power to like create the relationships that we want.
We have the power to shape our social circles
Yeah.
and cultivate relationships
Yes.
that truly light us up.
And it's not just about like, getting rid of the bad relationships.
Right.
It's also about like Really nurturing the
Why
deep
putting in the effort.
Yeah.
Stay connected.
making time for the people who matter.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I
Yeah.
just want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
Think about all the relationships you have in your life right now.
Yeah.
Good, bad, and everything in between.
Yeah.
How can you make those relationships even better?
How can you cultivate more depth?
Meaning.
Yeah. Yeah. And what can you do today to
Yeah.
bring more supportive people
Yeah.
into your life?
Such a great question
Yeah.
to reflect on.
Yeah. And remember, you're not alone on this journey.
You're not. We're all in this together.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.